still women are making an average of 77 cents for every dollar that a man earns. It'll take us 45 years at this pace to get equity in the workplace.
Paycheck Fairness Act failed a critical procedural vote in the Senate a short time ago, with Republicans blocking it as
the legislation would have built on protections granted to working women under the Lilly Ledbetter Act, the first bill President Obama signed into law in 2009. More closely tracking wage information from private companies and forcing some employers to justify differences in wages between men and women. Presumptive Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney refused to comment on the bill, but a spokesperson told reporters the candidate supports pay equity for women. Still, Democratic Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid was quick to tie Romney to GOP efforts to stop the bill.
He should show some leadership, my opinion, Governor Romney, and tell his fellow Republicans that opposing fair pay for all Americans is shameful.
You know, there should not be this disparity. It's just wrong. It's just unjust.
But this bill, from what I understand, has been considered in the U.S. Congress since, 2009? Why has it taken so long to get it to this stage today? Study after study has shown that women are being paid less than their male colleagues for the same work in the States. Why is this issue still not properly being addressed in the United States, which is supposed to be one of the most industrialized countries in the world?
Democrats expect Republicans to filibuster. And TV reports that's because
Republicans say it would place unnecessary burdens on businesses, and they claim the president is simply making a blatant play for women voters in November.
But what's getting lost in all of this bickering is that there is a gender pay gap in the U.S. Women earn about 82% of what men do. The median income of a man in this country is $44,000. For a woman, a little more than $36,000.
And the gap is there because in many instances women are in different job fields. There's stereotypes about what kind of employees will be because we're going to be moms or we're moms right now. And also, unfortunately, there's also just blatant discrimination.
And when I talk to people in business and women who've gone up the business ladder, they talk a lot about negotiating. I mean, even when you say we have the same education or better education, I do a great job, or this or that, I don't choose just to have a nanny, or I don't choose to take time out to have a child, there still is this gap. You say that gap starts the minute she throws her graduation cap in the air.
When you take a first-time graduate, 1 year out of college, same major, same field, men and women, there's already a gap. Now, that's a time when they should be pretty level, but not so much. So One of the things we know about the pay gap is that it is alive and well. We've made some progress, but the law that we currently have is not enough to get it done.
This is something that costs not just women, but their families. 40% of married, working mothers bring in the bulk of the family income. And so when you're talking about losing almost $500,000 over the course of a lifetime on average, when you're talking about an average of $10,000 a year, think about what that means for families in this. One person that we haven't heard from yet is Mitt Romney, who has refused to take a position on the Paycheck Fairness Act. And American women want to know, is he for equal pay or is he against it? At least he could have the courage to state his conviction.
For the first time ever, the Mitt Romney campaign has finally responded to one of our requests for comment. Woo! We asked them in writing. We said, quote, what is Governor Romney's position on the Paycheck Fairness Act being voted on in the Senate on Tuesday? A Romney campaign spokesperson wrote back with this, quote, of course Governor Romney supports pay equity for women. In order to have pay equity, women need to have jobs. And they have been getting crushed in this anemic Obama economy, losing far more jobs than men, as President Mitt Romney will create a pro-jobs business climate that will put all Americans back to work. Thanks so much for responding. Just a quick follow-up. Does this mean that Governor Romney supports the Paycheck Fairness Act the Senate is voting on tomorrow? Here's how our follow-up email was answered. Quote, Governor Romney supports pay equity for women. Period. Again, neat, not the question. Does he support the bill? One last attempt to try to get an actual answer. I wrote this one myself. Ready? Quote, thank you. I'll try one more time. Should we take this as, 1, Governor Romney has no position on the Paycheck Fairness Act? 2, Governor Romney does not support the Paycheck Fairness Act? Or 3, Governor Romney does support the Paycheck Fairness Act? Based on what you've told us, our best guess for the governor's position is 2, that he does not support the bill. If that is not correct, can you let us know? We have not received an answer to that last email.
I say to my friend, through the chair, there's no one in this body that has a reputation for a bigger and better fighter than Barbara Mikulski, senator from Maryland, senior senator from Maryland. And I entered the motion to reconsider the vote because I want the fight to continue.
Well, I would like to respond to the Majority Leader. We want to fight too. We thank you for your vote and your voice. I just want you to know that though we lost the vote today, we're not going to give up on this vote. It is a very sad day here in the United States Senate. We are sorry that this vote occurred strictly on party lines. Under your effort to reconsider, we hope to bring this bill up again. We hope to forge a bipartisan vote. You know, we're coming up on the 49th anniversary of equal pay for equal work. We're not going to let this bill die in parliamentary entanglements. The majority should rule in the United States Senate. And I just want to say this in the words of Abigail Adams. While John Adams and all the guys were sitting around Philadelphia writing the Constitution, she wrote him a letter and said, don't forget the ladies. And they did it for 150 years. And then they forget, too, to get rid of the loopholes in the Equal Pay Act now. Well, Abigail said, if you forget us, we'll foment our own revolution. And we're going to ferment our revolution. So I say to the women here, to the good men who support us, to the women out there in America, let's keep this fight going. Put on your lipstick, square your shoulders, suit up, and let's fight for this new American revolution where women are paid for equal pay for equal work, and let's end wage discrimination in this century once and for all.
Other thing that we're seeing is that elections have consequences, and it's becoming crystal clear for women in this country, you know, who's going to vote with women's rights and who's not.